Are you someone who has a resume but still you are not getting selected for any kind of interviews? Are you someone who has a lot of projects and a lot of experience as well, but only the resume is getting you rejections from many companies? Don't worry, in this video, we will be talking about how not to create a resume. Okay, and yeah, in this video I'll be talking about what are the points you should put in a resume, what are the things that you should have in a resume, what are the things you should not have in the resume. Also, along with that, I'll be giving you a one-to-one comparison between what kind of an ideal resume should look like and what is the kind of resume that usually people at this point of time make. Hey guys, my name is Aditya Trivedi, your buddy bhaiya at Coding Adda, and in this video we will be talking about what are the points that you should keep in mind when you are creating a resume. So let's start. So this is what a particular or an ideal resume looks like for any kind of a fresher or any kind of a college grad who is currently into their college years. And this is the kind of resume they usually make. So let's get into it and I'll show you what is the kind of resume that is actually to be made and what is the kind of resume that usually people. Okay. So firstly, they have the name, they have something about themselves. It's just for a reference. It's not an actual resume. I've created it just for your reference. Okay, with the name, a small description about themselves, along with that experience, where do they live, and a point about what is their role in that the place that they work in. Along with that, they put up the education, as in where they have been doing their studies and all the stuff. Along with that, some projects, some skills and languages. Okay, so this resume has been coming up a lot of times. I mean, a lot of people have been asking me, a lot of my juniors have been giving up their resume to me to kind of tell them like what is the thing that is to be done, what is the thing that is not needed over here. So there are a couple of things I'll tell you. Okay. The first thing, the first thing is your name should be in a bold letters. Okay. The first thing is correct. Okay. Aditya Trivedi should be in the bold letter. Good. Second thing is when you're writing something about yourself, never write it in like 3 points or 4 points. Points as in 3 words or 4 words. Always have a short description about yourself, as in what you have been doing, what you are passionate about, and what are the things that you have done apart from your co-curricular activities or co-curricular studies that you are doing in the college. Okay, this particularly includes any startup that you have, any blogging channel that you have, any community that you are building. So these kind of things can be come up inside the description about yourself. Okay, now there are a couple of things here. Never ever write the experience at the first. Okay, you should always mention some details about yourself, as in your email ID, your LinkedIn profile, your GitHub profile. Okay, these are the three things that should be always there in your resume. Okay, because that's the first thing when the recruiter gets the resume, he sees like, okay, this guy has a LinkedIn profile. Let's check the LinkedIn profile. This guy has a lead code profile. Let's check the lead code profile. This guy has a GitHub profile. Let's check it. If you have your own developer portfolio, that's a very good thing. It's like a cherry on the top for a cake. It obviously will enhance your view in the mind of the recruiter. Okay, so in this experience, never ever write the experience like this. You should always write the experience in the form of points. Okay, the point should be maximum 3 points on what you have been doing. Okay, and you have to structureize everything that you are writing. Okay, so, and in the projects, you should always mention the projects which are hosted. Okay, even if they are not hosted, or you have written something about the project on your blogging site on or talked about that project in a community event, you can always mention the link over that project. You can always do a hyperlink over there. Next is you do not have to mention your address. Okay, never ever mention your address in any of your resume that you are creating. Apart from that, going to the skills, these skills are not such needed. Okay, always mention the skills that you are good in. Okay, let's say I know Java, how to print hello world. So obviously the recruiter may think that no, this guy knows something about Java, so let's ask question on him on this particular programming language. So always write the topics or write the skills that you are almost 50% or 90% confident in, and you know at least 50% of the concepts that are usually used when you're creating projects in that particular programming language. Okay, so these are the things that you should keep in mind, and I'll show you what an ideal resume should look like. Okay, and personally I would suggest never go with writing resume in Google Docs. Obviously if you are the first one, or if you are writing or creating a resume for the first time, it's good you have to have a practice on creating the resume on Google Docs as well. But when you are going for or applying for a job, always go to a website called overleaf.com. Okay, overleaf.com basically it helps you create a resume in a latex format. Okay, I'll show you my resume. Okay, this is the resume that is currently what I have. Okay, I have not done anything more about it. It's just the resume that I have. This is the resume that got me my job. Okay, so if you see, you will be able to understand the main difference between the two resumes. Okay, it's like in a single page there are a lot of blank spaces that I am having, and apart from the blank spaces, it's like a lot less information is being displayed. Okay, here if you see, within a single page a lot of information is displayed. I'll just zoom in and let you guys see the first one that I have is my name. Next, I have my email, my mobile number, my portfolio link, GitHub profile, and stuff. Next. The next thing is I have written a short summary about myself. Full stack developer having hands-on experience on industry leading companies like L&T and a startup. Passionate content creator and developer to help community via EdTech YouTube channel Coding Adda with around 5,000 plus members across various platforms. Okay, so it's like within 2 lines I have told everything about myself to the recruiter. Okay, it's like no rubbish talks, no irrelevant talks, only point to point answer. Now the next thing comes is the academic qualification, where I have been doing my BTech. So I have written the college name, when did I start, when did it end, what course did I do, and where was the location. Okay, in the course of what did I do, this is optional, this is not mandatory. If you want, you can write it, and the average grade that you have got in the college years. Okay, next is technical skills. Now, this is personally what I do. I create a table to write the technical skills over here, because there are a lot of skills that you have. Okay, and each skill, what if you divide each skill into a domain, that would be easier for you and as the recruiter to understand, like, okay, this guy knows this much in front end, this guy knows this much in databases. So what I've done is, in the programming languages I've written JavaScript, Java, C, and Python. In the backend languages, only the frameworks that I know almost 60%, 70%. Obviously, in the backend frameworks, I have learned a lot about it, so I know more than that. So, the backend frameworks I have written as Node.js, Spring Boot, and Flask. In the front end, I have written HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Next.js, Vue.js, Tailwind CSS, Material UI. If you know more about the front end frameworks, you can obviously keep on writing. There is no issue in that. In the databases, MongoDB, MySQL. In application servers, if you have deployed any project in your college website or in your college server, you can obviously write it. I have deployed a website, so I have used Apache Tomcat and IS server for that. Apart from that, cloud computing, AWS S3, AWS EC2. If you know something about Kubernetes, if you know something about Docker, you can obviously write over there. In that, after that, we have something called design patterns. So these are the design patterns that you particularly learn in colleges. Okay, MVC pattern you learn in college, and this is where you have to implement it. Okay, if you have implemented any of the design pattern in any of your projects, you can obviously write it. And next, the version control, Git. Okay, now next comes the most important part, the experience part. Now, why the experience part is important? Because here is the chance for you to impress your interviewer or the recruiter. Okay, now you have to follow a standard. Always write your latest experience at the first, and the oldest experience at the last. Okay, from latest to oldest. So the latest experience that I have is I work at Synopsis. What's my role? When did I start? And currently where I am, and what are the things that I do over here. I've just written it into points. Next, what did I do? I was a MERN faculty at Static in Educare. It was a startup where I have taught and students about MERN stack development course for diploma students particularly, where I also cleared JavaScript concepts including DSA and object-oriented programming principles. So it's just that if you see the MERN faculty role, okay, I'll just tell you. The MERN faculty role was all about teaching students about the MERN stack, about JavaScript, about data structures and algorithms and all the other stuff. It was just a simple role, okay. But what have I done over here is I have written that role into different points so that the person who sees the resume gets an idea. Okay, this is what the guy has done in this particular experience that he has got, or the internship that he or she has done. Okay. Apart from that, if you have your own startup, if you have your own YouTube channel, you can obviously write about it. And here is the chance where you have to write. Actually, you have to write because here the recruiter sees what is this guy or this candidate doing apart from his or her college studies. Okay, there are a lot of companies and there are a lot of recruiters who obviously see for these kind of things which are apart from your academic curriculum. Okay, so this is a chance where you can write everything about your startup, everything about your YouTube channel, everything about your community that you're building. Okay, I've written about that coding a Deseret Tech YouTube channel with 3,000 plus subscribers, which focuses on providing solutions to complex technologies with real life problems through YouTube videos. Okay, so I have written 4 points about that. And this was the first internship that I did at L&T, and 3 points about that. Okay, so this is the most important section, which is the experience section. Okay, this experience section will get your resume in the eyes of the recruiter. Okay, next section comes the next section comes is the academic project section, wherein you have to write about the projects that you have built. Okay, it can be academic projects, and if you are someone who is an experience like 2 to 3 years of experience, you can remove the word academic and write the projects. Okay, this was the Find My Notes projects. Obviously, I think you guys also know I have put up a video on YouTube for that. You can check it out. So this was my college project, an AI based ML and Flutter startup funding application. And if you have copyrighted that particular project, you can obviously mention the link over there. I have mentioned a hyperlink, so if I click on that, I'll be able to redirect to the copyright that I have done. Okay, so this is the copyright that I have done for that particular project. The next thing is about the projects, as I said. The third is the AI news agent data project that I have built. If I click on that, I'll be obviously redirected to the YouTube video that I have created. Okay, so this is one such thing that you can do. If you have hosted the project, you can obviously hyperlink that project to the hosted URL, or else you can go with this. Okay, max you can go for 4 projects and 4 of the top projects. Okay, let's say you have built 20 projects, and here you should mention the 4 top projects that you have built. Okay, apart from that, if there are any awards or publications that you have done, please feel free to write it down. And this obviously shows that you are good at or you are interested at doing research projects. Okay, so that also creates an impression in the mind of the recruiter, like, yeah, this kind of person, if I give a project based on let's say research, this person can do it because he or she has done the publications for a particular project. Okay, apart from that, you can also write the certifications. Okay, any certification that you do, I personally would recommend do the certifications which are from good companies, branded, not branded as such, but good companies, because their value is better from the local other company certificates that are obviously flown over the internet. And do the certifications which are licensed. Okay, which will help you obviously show your credibility that okay, this is the person who has done certification from this particular company. Okay, next is the extracurricular activities. If you have done any extracurricular activities in your college time, if you have been a part of a hackathon committee, if you have been part of a club in your college, like the technical club, I have been part of the MLSC club in my college, so I have written about that. And after that, I have written about something about the technical head that I have been at my hackathon in my particular college. Okay, so it's like a two-page resume, but it's good if you have a lot of things to write. Max 2 pages is good, but never go more than 2 pages. Okay, because more than 2 pages, it's not actually applicable, and it's not actually advised for anyone to write a resume or create a resume which is more than 2 pages. Okay, 2 pages max, 2 page at max, not less than that or not more than that. Okay, so this was about how I created my resume. If you want, you can check it out. It's just something new about creating a resume in latex. But if you go to Overleaf, you can obviously find templates that can help you create your own resume. And it's just like they have a bit different syntax than what we usually do. But if you have an habit of creating reports over here, it's a plus point for you. But if you are new for this particular Overleaf kind of latex kind of language, it might take some time for you to understand and create your resume. But once it is created, I'm definitely sure that this will obviously impact on your job application process. Okay, and the one last thing that I want to say is that whenever you are creating resume, never ever submit a single resume to all the job applications. Okay, the most important thing is to have different resumes altered to different job applications. Okay, so let's say if you are someone who is a front-end developer, okay, and is applying for a full stack role, for example, and if you know stuff about full stack, right? If you're applying about for a full stack role, and if you're writing in your resume about the front end developer, it will obviously not match the JD. So what you have to do is you have to alter your entire resume based on the JD. You have to find out the keywords that are available on that JD and put it, like copy paste the entire keywords into your resume, so that your resume is altered based on the job description that is posted by the company. Okay, so this video was all about how to not create a resume, okay, and how to kind of work on your resume so that it will help you get your job applications processed and obviously get you accepted at any companies wherever you are applying or wherever your dream is to be at any company. Okay, so yeah, this was it for the video. If you like the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.